For watching today. I'm working more on my stock market model. I'll go over real quick what I've done so far and where I'm currently at, what I've done recently. Before I start, if you find this interesting, subscribe. Go to the GitHub. That's in the link. You can download this tool if you want the data I'm using. It's this link, which is also in the description. Yeah. So, oh yeah, and join the Discord, which is also in the description. So what I'm trying to do is get a model which predicts returns on stocks, and then use that to get a portfolio strategy which beats the S&P 500 by a significant margin. Started out getting NASDAQ data. This was kind of inefficient. You have to download a CSV for each day. So I found this better database, the one that I just showed. This guy updates the database every single day. It's free. You can get it as a SQL database on your computer using Dolt. Yeah, and my other requirements for this is that I want to use everything I use should be free, and should update regularly so that you can use it. I want sometime after the market closes and before the market opens again, I want to get the data, run the model, and make picks for the next day. So um, I started, once I got the data, I did some basic analyses, just comparing fundamentals here in black, and white, comparing pharma stocks against the average for the sector. But all of that's qualitative. You can't really automate anything with that. So the next step was to incorporate it into a model. I'm using a light gradient boosting method because it handles missing values well, handles large data sets well, and this is widely used for stock data. Um, I was able to get about 51.5% directional accuracy. That was the best I could do. I incorporated this into a portfolio strategy, and I found that if I'm picking the bottom n number of stocks by volatility, the lower n is, the more successful it is. So if I'm picking the lowest 500 by volatility, uh, and weighting them according to their predicted return, um, I'm underperforming S&P 500. If I crop that down to 100, I'm basically matching the S&P. Crop it down to 20, and I'm beating the S&P, and crop it down to 1, and I'm beating the S&P by a lot. So I looked at the Sharpe ratios for this different number of N's, and the only one that got above 1, you want a Sharpe ratio above 1 if you're going to use it. Ideally, you'd like it much above 1, but 1's kind of the baseline. If it's below 1, there's no sense implementing that strategy. And so the only one that got a Sharpe ratio above 1 was this strategy, picking 1 per day. So this is inherently fragile, but I decided to threshold it. So if I'm predicting the probability of it going up, if I threshold it here, it's being thresholded at 50%. Here I'm upping the threshold, so you see 51 doesn't change anything really, 52 doesn't change anything. But if I threshold at 53, the Sharpe ratio goes up significantly, and 54 it goes up even more to like 2.5, above 2.5. And so that looks like it's a really good strategy on paper. But then if I increase the threshold to 0.55, it doesn't make any picks because it never predicts anything has that much of a chance to go up. And so the net result of this is an extremely fragile strategy, and I needed something more robust. So I knew I needed to go through and rapidly prototype things. The problem was the way that I had things organized. I needed to write a new script every time I changed how I defined my stock universe, every time I trained the model differently, and every time I implemented a different portfolio strategy. Quickly blew up to dozens of files, and it was going to be hundreds by the time I was done. This wouldn't be usable for me, but more importantly, it wouldn't be usable for anyone else who wants to use it. And like I said, I want to make a flexible tool that anyone can use. So then I started reorganizing the code base here. I've incorporated everything except for a portfolio model. I'm leaving that off until I can get a good returns model that's getting 53 or 54%. I incorporated all of these features, which is what I spent most of the time doing when I was making this on the right. And then I was good to go. So um, what have I done recently? So the first step really, it took, there were things were going wrong and not working, but the first step really is I want to look at every feature that I have and find, what's important, what's not important. And so you see down here, these things aren't very important, but up here, these are very important. And the features are really flexible, so I can look back a variable number of days. So the next thing I want to do really is isolate these. Oh, and this is using classification, so just classifying up versus down. This is regression, so predicting how much it's going up or down. And neither of these did very well. You see here, this is, below 51%, 50.8%. This one I didn't add, but let me see if I still have it. Yeah. So this one's even worse, 50.6. Oop, let me make this bigger. And let me put a comment in the chat real quick. Okay, so yeah, so the next thing I want to do is both look at classification and regression and see I also want to incorporate beta, so I don't remember if I got the universe or not. So stock market tool, CD, data, CD, universes. There's 2 of them. Let me just look real quick. Import pandas as PD. df1, just d1 is equal to pd.read feather. And let's look at that file, 1.feather. d2 is pd.read feather 2.feather. Okay, so now let's see, is spy in d1.account symbol.unique. Okay. Is it in D2? Good. So if we go back here, we can say universe equals 2. Model 1 is, binary. So we want to add beta. I want to know how important is beta. Okay, so I'm going to run this again. Then I'm going to go in and build the next model. Python 3. Oh, nope. Get out of there. Go to Explorers. What are we on? Test model 1. Test model 2. I really am more interested in regression. Okay, so this one's running. Now if we do 3, need to add a description for what's going on. So regression target with what he wants in. Come on, man. Okay, so regression target with, let's say 5 most successful features. Is there any clear fall off here? So maybe I'll try top 4 and then top 7 or something. With 4 best features from Model 2. Okay, so the 4 best features are gap sigma log ATR, so gap sigma. Hey, that ran really fast. So, did I not add beta? Oh, beta turned out to not be that important. Interesting. So why here volume ratio or volatility ratio? I don't remember what that was. That was way down on the last one. Oh, because now it's adding ETFs. So what was the accuracy? Worse. But some of these features were barely important. Okay, so is there any reason not to include ETFs? Not that I could really think of. I went out riding. Okay, so like the tears when I said goodbye. Nothing but the thought of you. I went wandering. Went drifting through the capitals of tin, where men can't walk or freely talk, and sons turn their fathers in. Alright, so below. I went out with nothing but the thought of you. I went wandering. Alright, so gap sigma, no matter what, is really important. When out walking. No one. Momentum isn't as important here. Log ATR is important in both. Vol ratio doesn't even matter. It's like halfway down. I guess I'll include it. So log ATR we know we want. Taste and to touch and to feel as much as a man can. So log ATR. That's important in both. All three found log ATR and gap sigma are important. So maybe I'll just include things that everything agrees on. MACD. That's way down there. Z-score. View up Z partway down. I was sure I was the one. Momentum, right? That's kind of up there. Yeah. Okay, so I'll include momentum. The papers. Promised I'd be back by noon. Yeah, I left with nothing. Thought you'd be there too. Looking for you. So log ATR, gap sigma, momentum. Z-score. It's kind of like 6th on there or something. Oh, it's high on here. How about ROC? Is that up in here? No. So Z-score is up on these two, but I don't even see it on here. Oh, yeah, it's like halfway down. I guess I'll include it. Hey, man, them ain't high heel sneakers. And it sure don't look like cowboy boots. And that ain't rock and roll you're playing. Okay, so that'll be good. What do we have? 4 features? RSI. 2 drummer. Okay, so now we've got 2 Donna Summer. Gap sigma, log ATR, momentum, Z-score. Features. Before. So if I go to features, I want to make sure there's no data leakage. Custom stat at the jukebox and stay out of sights. Now and then, light a little smoke in a truck out back. Oh, bim bim, we'd get right. And you know, these flashing lights sure make me dizzy. And this disco's very strange to my ear. It looks like they turned the Longhorn into a spaceship. And I'll be leaving just as soon as I finish this beer. Let me add that to the GitHub real quick. Okay, so where does the shift happen? When I die, Lord, I want you put my soul up on a train. Okay, so it will be in other requests, right? I've been lost on them back roads so many times, gone blind. Or type is not equal to calendar. On the south side of heaven, won't you take me home? Yeah, I'm worried there's some logic error here. Alright, but I'll just make that the target. Train running on cocaine out of control. But on the south side of heaven, won't you take me home? I've been gone there for so long, and Lord, it's getting cold. Lonesome highway, roll on. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, that went way faster because I changed it to 50. So clean analysis. Ain't nothing but a change in pace. So it said in that paper to do 500 trials, and that seemed to be working better. Okay. So we've got 3 turned on. Let's turn that off and turn on test model 2. Side of heaven, won't you take me home? Make sure. Yep. On the south side of heaven, won't you take me home? 'Cause I've been gone down for so long and Lord, it's getting cold. Okay, so hey, Payne Purdue. Yeah, sure. Basically, I want a model to predict the stock market. It should be quantitative. It should be automated. Every day when the market closes, sometime after the market closes and before the market opens, I should be able to add new data to the model from the day that just happened, and then the model will spit out well, the model that I'm training right now will spit out, a target price for the end of the day or something similar. Maybe probability of going up, maybe the end price or the log return for the day, and then I'm going to use that, feed that into a portfolio model that will automate the pick generation. So all I want to do is say, basically run a command to update the data for the most recent day, run another command, generate picks, and then it'll spit out, a portfolio allocation. Have 10% of your portfolio in this asset, 3% in here, and then every day when the market opens, all I have to do is shift around my money. And this strategy should beat the S&P 500 by a significant margin. You could I showed this at the beginning of the stream, but this is the work I did on the first version of this. And I got a model to work, but it was a really fragile model. And so I spent basically all of February cleaning up the code base so that I could do this more rapidly. I finally got that done, and now I'm going through it more rapidly. There's a secondary goal to this, which is that I want to make a tool, so I'm uploading all this to GitHub. And my goal is to have a tool that anyone can use. Anyone should be able to just download this and run this. You shouldn't have to write code. You shouldn't have to do anything. Right now you have to write code if you want to use this, but ultimately I'm going to integrate it into a GUI. So that's basically the motivations. I want to make a tool that anyone can use to make models for themselves for the stock market. And I want to make a model for myself to make money regularly. So right now what I'm working on is I'm looking at, I wanted to see basically if I add every single feature to the model, what features are important. So we see kind of gap sigma, log ATR are kind of 2 really important features. And there's some other ones you see, like ADX down here, that doesn't seem very important at all. Stuff towards the bottom isn't important. So now that I'm able to, change the model easily, I want to rapidly iterate and get this accuracy to 53 or 54%. Yeah, sure. So that's the gold standard. If I could get 53 or 54%, I'm good to go on to the portfolio model. And the whole idea, you can see if your strategy is good by looking at this thing called the Sharpe ratio. It's really simple. But this is showing the Sharpe ratio for a different number of stocks that I'm picking. So, like I said, this is fragile. It only really works for one position. But this is a Sharpe ratio above 1. So I want 53 or 54% returns. And then from that on my portfolio model, I want a high Sharpe ratio. Of what feature? Sharpe ratio? Sharpe ratio basically takes into account the interesting. So this is if I'm just doing the 4 features that I used earlier. Sharpe ratio basically takes into account how much it's going up, but if something's going up and highly volatile, that's going to hurt the Sharpe ratio. I forget the exact formula, but it basically weights, how much growth versus Sharpe ratio. You can kind of see that here. It's not just about growth; it's about avoiding big drawdowns, and the purple line here is 0.54 threshold, so by far the highest Sharpe ratio, and it doesn't go up as much as the others. But you also see that it doesn't suffer severe drawdowns, and like some of the drawdowns are crazy. Like this in red, the just thresholding at 0.5, you basically would have lost money from June all the way through September. And so, can you really it's questionable if you can do that in real life and sit there losing money every day for 3 months and just keep throwing money into it. If you don't, if you take small losses every once in a while, that's a lot more doable. So just using these 4 features, it did even worse. As I slowly laid you low, it was a rose. Model error. Why does it say that? Love pretty flowers is what I brought to you through a broken window. If target type is regression. Why? Oh. This root means squared error. Duh. Oh, gap sig. I forget exactly what that is. It's sigma. So I'm pretty sure it's the standard deviations for how much it changed overnight. So, you have and it's over the last 14 days. So if you get a distribution of how much the stock jumps overnight for the last 14 days, and then get the standard deviation, how many standard deviations was the jump in the most recent gap from market close to market open. And I have to lag it by a day because this isn't going to have data. I'm not going to be able to add the open price when I run the model. So it's going to be the previous days. And that seems to be the most important feature. I'm not really sure why. I thought other things would be more important. Like if you look here, if you're just looking at how the features look, this looks like a really solid feature. If you could just implement a strategy of buy when it's oversold, so you would buy down here. It's hard to see exactly where that would be, but I was looking at this earlier and I thought, oh, if you just buy at each of these low points, so right after 11, so like that's probably this. Yeah, I don't know. So I was kind of surprised that gap sigma was the most important feature. Um, what I'm kind of concerned about is data leakage, but you know, there can't be that much if the accuracy is still only, it's not 51%, it's getting worse. Accuracy is directional accuracy is worse than when using all features. Um, let's see what the AI says. I gotta go to the bathroom really quick though. So if I understand correctly from the curve, the Brownian movement, you get all those indicators that have formula and are chosen by experts, and you choose which of those features. Um, you get all those indicators that have formula. Yes, I'm using all common indicators, all common features and indicators I could find. And yeah, those are. It's yeah, I don't know. I just found the best ones from the field, so yeah, that's kind of expert opinion. Yeah, and so now I'm trying to hunt. Well, this is like a very basic thing. As I thought, okay, I want to look at all features, find which is most important, and then kind of concentrate on the most important ones, and refine it. But you know, if I just do that, if I pick four really successful ones from all three strategies, you see this actually performs worse than if I just use all of the features. I was hoping it would perform better. And so the next thing to look into is um, I actually am not sure what the next thing to look into is. Maybe I could change how I'm doing the universe. I also might need to do, you know, I'm picking these values randomly, 20-day momentum. Maybe I should go through and look at, you know, uh, a different range or something. But that's why I'm going to use ChatGPT. So, um, we're not ChatGPT, Google AI Studio. ChatGPT isn't very good. Alright, now I forgot what this was that I just ran. Oh, that was... things that they want. So that one was bad because I didn't do enough optimization iterations. Bold painted fine. Adios. Thanks. Nice. Thank you, Payne Purdue. Is that a play on Purdue Pharma? Join the Discord if you're interested, and try downloading the GitHub repository. See if you can use it. I'm working on an LGBM model to predict stock market returns. I'm only able to get an accuracy, directional accuracy of 50.8% at best, which I get when incorporating. Hey, Prey Metis. Nice, thank you. I have to do, this is just gonna be a 1 hour long stream because I have to do, I have to go to work, myself, so, I'm only able to get, but thanks for watching while you're at work. That helps me get views, helps me look good for YouTube. I'm only able to get a directional accuracy of 50.8% at best, which I get when incorporating every feature that I have. When I trim the features to the 4 best features, the model performs worse. A couple dozen or so. When I trim the features to the 4 best features, the model performs worse at like 50 point, what was it? 50.08% directionally accurate. Where do I take the analysis from here? I'm specifying a certain distance to look back for each feature. For example, 30-day moving. For example, I'm using 20-day moving average lagged by 1 day. The z-score calculated from data over the past 20 days, etc. Should I explore what look back distance is best for each feature? Look for new features to incorporate. Look back for each feature. Blah 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 blah. I'm using the log return for the current day. First I'll say all features are lagged by 1 day to prevent data leakage. I'm using the log return for the current day as my target. Should I explore what look back? Distance is best for each feature. Look for new features to incorporate. Look for different combinations of features which work well. Change how my universe is defined, or something else. Use best practices for data science to inform your reply. Okay, that was a long thing to type. So in quantitative finance, predicting the exact daily return, I forgot to say I'm doing binary returns too. Or even just the daily direction. Oh, daily stuff is difficult. A directional accuracy of 50.8%. You experience the classic quant problem. Financial signals are weak and distributed. Oh, so you want maximum features for the LightGBM. That's interesting. LightGBM lambda rank. Term structure. Using a fixed 20-day look back limits your model. Okay, so let me try that. I mean, that's gonna give me... Maybe I could just try... All right, so let's see how that performs. So the first thing is section off these time periods like I am here. Uh-oh. Did I change clean model back? Oh. Alright, let's just keep, get rid of that. Let's keep everything consistent. Three, 9, 2026. Next things to try. Objective function for LGBM other than root mean squared error. All features with time sectioning. Five, 20, 60, 200 day. Make efficient. Change target to 5-day forward log returns instead of log return for the current day only. Is there anything else I can do? Change target to return relative to spy. I don't think I changed anything in the repository otherwise, did I? Okay, so that's it for now. It's been an hour. I have to go to work. Subscribe if you thought this was interesting. Join the Discord. We're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff. Go to the GitHub if you thought this was interesting. Download it. See if you can try to use it. Message me. Leave me a comment or something about any issues you have, or do it on here. And anything else? No, that's it. Just subscribe, please, and thank you for watching. And I'll be working on this every day, so hopefully we'll get some model going that's getting 53 or 54% accuracy, and we can move forward from there. So thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Adios. Thought this was interesting. Download it. See if you can try to use it. Message me. Leave me a comment or something about any issues you have, or do it on here. And anything else? No, that's it. just subscribe, please, and thank you for watching. And